Insider trading. See, this is the biggest one. I'm sorry. I need to contain my anger for this because my uncle actually is a victim of insider trading.
Today, these two contestants endure an introvert's nightmare for no prize and no money. I'm your host, Ben, on this episode of SLIDED. Now, let's meet your absolutely qualified judges. The guy who eats pizza with a fork. It's Matt Keim. Involuntary firefighter. It's Madalyn St. John. Pioneer of the male romper. It's Colin Pawlowski. Some housekeeping before we start. Each contestant must present a slideshow they've never seen before. The contestants will be judged on comedy, character, and content. And did we mention they must complete their presentation in under 5 minutes? Let's meet our contestants before they're blindsided. Contestant number 1.
Hi, I'm Jose, formerly known as Malachi.
That is mildly impressive this time. Excited to see you again, Malachi. And contestant number 2.
I'm also here.
Do you know where the camera is this time? Don't worry about it. Now, for our audience, if you haven't already, give us a little like and subscribe. Contestant number 1, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let's get this going.
All right, your presentation starts now.
Oh my god, scope away. Okay. So, I'm here to talk to you guys about the legend of the Mothman. Let's get started. Next slide. Mothman, that's a creepy picture. Mothman was first sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia in 1966. How we managed to get this picture? Very lucky survivors. Next slide. Many believe the Mothman was warning residents of the 1967 Silver Bridge collapse, which killed 46 people. And as you can see, nobody paid attention to him, which is disappointing. Mothman. Next slide. The Mothman was really warning us about Richard Gere. Yeah, that's right. Fuck, I can't. Next slide. Dick Gere is secretly the Bunny Man, a murderous cryptid in Clifton, Virginia. And what the people don't know is that the Bunny Man and the Mothman are arch enemies. That's why they each named after a specific creature. Next slide. Gere's Bunny Man identity was the worst kept secret in Hollywood. He was kicked out of the Academy for the murders and for a couple comments about the Chinese government. And as you can see, that's why Bunny Man is not talked about today as much as Mothman. Mothman, however, is still going on, as far as we know. Next slide. Despite his archenemy, Gere starred in the 2002 movie, The Mothman Prophecies. Gere really wanted to get into Mothman's head and really into any of the people that believed in Mothman to try to get him convincing into Bunny Man's existence. But Mothman saw this coming and wanted to prepare people as well. Next slide. Gere insisted on casting Deborah Messing as his wife to further mock the Mothman, knowing the Mothman's favorite show is Will and Grace. And this really bummed Mothman very hard. He suffered through clinical depression and just was not able to deal with this. He was very upset with Gere, Bunny Man. Next slide. In response, the Mothman created the 2001 movie Donnie Darko, using time travel, which had a way better critical reception. As everyone knows, Donnie Darko was probably one of the popular received movies in 2001 due to its use of time travel, and of course, the mocking of Bunny Man, which is what Mothman wanted to do all along. Next slide. Coincidentally, however, Will and Grace came back on the air in 2017, and to this day, residents of Point Pleasant, West Virginia reported sightings of the show. So, what really happens with Mothman? Who knows? Next slide. In conclusion, Mothman and Bunny Man have a very long-going battle, and we can only imagine how much time is going to go on forward with it in 2020 and to the future years and beyond, especially with Mothman's ability to time travel. So, let's see what they come up with in the upcoming future. Thank you.
All right. Let's give a round of applause for Jose. Now, my judges. Matt, how are you feeling?
I think it's really important that you hit on the aspect of time travel, which was one of the biggest weapons in this secret war fought between Mothman and Bunnyman. Which is, of course, the inconsistency, the paradox, if you will, of Donnie Darko coming out before the Mothman prophecies. And I think it's very important that you acknowledge that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Mothman wanted to secretly come up with to take revenge on Bunnyman.
Well, I have a couple of questions. The first of which is, how dare you besmirch the good name of Richard Gere? Richard Gere fans everywhere are going to be absolutely outraged that you've included him in this nonsense conspiracy. Because as we all know, Richard Gere is a gem of the American cinema tradition. So that's number one. And number two is, who knew you could make a story about a half man, half animal, whatever animal you're choosing, so very boring. Thank you.
I think my fellow judge might just be bitter about what happened in the last episode.
Oh, you know what, Matt? Let's not bring up last episode, okay? It's a little tacky.
I just wanted to do a quick PSA. I am a new judge. I'm a completely different judge, and I'm really excited to be here. So my first thing that Thanks. My first thing I wanted to say was I really liked your use of references to the 2002, the Moth Prophecies. Is that the, I wrote it down, I believe the Moth Prophecies. That was when I had, my 2002 was my meltdown. Yeah, and I every slide that you went through, I could feel it.
That's great to hear.
Slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5. You really had it. You really had it. So, your 3 C's. I wrote my numbers down: content, comedy, and character. I have that for you at the end.
I'm uncomfortable. Okay, contestant number 2.
That's me.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Your presentation starts now.
Good evening, distinguished panel of judges. Have you ever questioned the reality of a true American crime lord? Well, I'm here to tell you today that the truest of American crime lords has been in your living room every day at 2 p.m., 12 p.m. Central, and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next slide. Okay, so Martha Stewart has, on numerous occasions, been found jaywalking. She just wanders into roads. You know, she comes with perfectly baked scones for the passerbys, but she doesn't realize that she's actually obstructing a lot of the throughway traffic so that people could get to where they need to go. People have actually died because of her negligence in giving scones to strangers on the side of the road because they can't get around. Ambulances have lost lives because of her wild abuse of laws that are put in place to keep everyday Americans safe. Next slide, please. She has gone to so many people's houses and stolen all of their towels. That's why she has a whole brand of towels in all Targets across the country, because she has stolen all of them. I know, it was hard for me to believe it, but as you can see in this picture, we have photographic evidence of a time that she was going into a house and stealing all of their linens, everything. A whole family that can't drive everybody. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the family with their pruny fingers and they can't do anything about it. Next slide. I'm just gonna... Insider trading. See, this is the biggest one. I'm sorry, I need to contain my anger for this because my uncle actually is a victim of insider trading, and he was put in a box and he was sent off to different countries, and it still shakes our family to this day. But a federal judge found her guilty of felony charges of conspiracy. That's a big long word that we use to mean something that she shouldn't have done. And obstruction of agency proceedings and making false statements to federal investigators. I mean, ipso facto, she did something she should not have been doing. She's lied about selling income stock from insider advices in 2001, and Stewart has served 5 months in prison. Do you know anyone that served 5 months in federal prison? If you do, you're probably a criminal yourself. Next slide. The amount of animals that she has smuggled into this country will make you weep. Everyone thinks that Joe Exotic is the king of the exotic animals. Wrong. He is a lackey for Martha Stewart. I said it. Look at that exotic toucan that is filled with tons of new feathers because of it being in a climate that it's not prepared for. This is some serious stuff here. And the next one coming up is gonna really shake you. Next slide. See, look at that. That's Bubbles the chimp. Michael Jackson's Bubbles the chimp that she stole from him. So if you want to link Michael Jackson's craziness to Martha Stewart, I won't tell you you're wrong. Next slide. Rachel Ray is the newest person that she's been linked to Martha Stewart's crimes. We're looking into it. We're actually finding out that the burglary of a lot of pots and pans is due to Rachel Ray stealing them for her own company and using them to sell in Pier 1s for her own benefit to keep her in the wealthy elite. But yeah, we're currently making connections with Rachel Ray to Martha Stewart's crime syndicate. Next slide, please. I mean, this one goes without saying. Pablo Escobar, a man that has done numerous heinous deeds and actions across numerous continents of this great planet that we live on. And who is right next to him with a notepad making all the plans? Martha Stewart. Next slide, please. Now, the kids call Special K a kind of street drug that creates a euphoric sensation. Martha Stewart explicitly sells her things in Kmart. Special K, Kmart, buy your drugs here. I mean, there's not many. In conclusion, Martha Stewart is a cunt nugget, and she should be put away in jail. Thank you very much for your time.
There was some debate in the control room as to whether or not to allow you to keep going on.
It's okay. You know what?
Your speech was too moving.
I genuinely believe that I have spoken everything I needed to on this, and I have said what I needed to, and I don't think I can go any further without being emotionally overwhelmed. So thank you for stopping.
I understand. You have moved me. Judges, with the knowledge that Jonathan has gone over time, Matt, what is your response?
My heart goes out to Bubbles the chimp and all other victims. It's truly a wonderful piece of journalism you've presented with us, Jonathan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question, were you reading off of note cards despite the fact that it was a PowerPoint?
No, there was nothing on these cards.
Interesting.
It was from the heart, but I mean, I just wanted to give the illusion that I prepared more.
I felt it coming from the heart, and that's the most important thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean,
I'm with you. I know. It's a lot. Breathe it in.
that was pretty moving stuff. And I just want to say, you know, as someone that reads a lot of home and food blogs, it makes a lot of sense to me that Martha Stewart was involved with all of these drug rings, because like who could follow one of those recipes? It was just like, they're just like so overwhelming. There's like so many ingredients, and like
Because
where
it's
am I
for
gonna
drugs.
get an
It's for
exotic
drugs.
pheasant? Like I can't get that at the fucking Acme. Okay, so like I think it just makes a lot of sense in it, and I feel very seen and very validated. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I understand when you read those magazines and you find out this truth, you feel kind of betrayed. I definitely felt betrayed, and I'm happy to bring the light to people.
You're a true angel warrior.
I'm doing what is right. I'm not a good person. Thank you, though.
There was a lot there. There was a lot there. And unfortunately, Martha always has a place in my heart. It's hard to see this kind of light on her right now. And you were strong.
Thank you. Thank you.
But unfortunately, our past goes much further than a PowerPoint. My past with Martha.
Oh my God.
Say it, because I know you
No.
know.
No, I
I think
listen,
you know. Why don't you just say it out loud? Just say it.
You're her aborted son that didn't die, aren't you?
That was not where I was going. I was actually going for personal assistant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That I'm not.
Oh my God. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Great PowerPoint. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the points were there, and I'm curious to see what the final results will be.
And with that, my panel of judges, who should pass on to the next round?
Well, I think the rivalry between Mothman and Bunny Man is a very critical piece of American history that has affected the entertainment and the well-being of the population at large. I mean, Mothman got Will and Grace put back on the air. Having said that, I was so incredibly moved by Contestant 2's presentation. Regardless of the fact that he went over time, I will go with Contestant 2.
Thank you.
Well, I hate to take the suspense out of things, but, I've never seen Mothman or Donnie Darko, and Martha is just a true, as our panelist said, our contestant said, a true cunt nugget. So I also am gonna have to go with contestant number 2.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Fortunately, I really heard the truth in Jose's presentation, just like I did the first time. And also, I have a lot of legal requirements as to why I can't vote for contestant number 2, because it was a PowerPoint about my boss. But it really, stunning work, and I am going to vote for contestant number 1.
All right, and with that, I'm sorry, Jose. You did your best, and you did get a point. But unfortunately, this has to go to a man who spoke the truth.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want to lose to
Jonathan.
anyone better.
Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I needed this to come to light. It has not sat right for me, and I haven't slept in years. And I just really need people to be aware of this. And Jose, you did what you thought was your best, and I applaud you for that. Yeah, better luck next time. Stick to pie eating contests, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And with that, don't forget, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. It may help us out more than you know. It may help Bubbles more than you know. Until next time,
Oh God, I can't.
Blindsided!